Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Today we're tackling a topic every artist needs to hear: how to turn your social media followers into paying clients. If you've been working hard to build your audience, but your schedule isn't quite as full as you'd like, stick around. I'm breaking it down into steps to help you connect with your audience in a way that builds trust, boosts engagement, and gets those followers booking appointments. Before we get into today's episode, if you've been here since day one and you're still listening, I just want to thank you for giving me a chance, for sticking around, and for sharing the episodes with your friends. I so appreciate all the support and the amazing reviews you all have been leaving for me. Whether it's on Apple or the website or just the sweet messages that you've sent me, I read them all, and they're all so incredibly appreciated. Your reviews help to improve the show's rankings, which in turn helps to get the show out in front of new listeners so that I can help even more people. So I just wanted to take a minute and thank you for that. And if you've been listening and are enjoying the show, or it's helped you in some way and you haven't left a review yet, if you could take a minute to go do that right now, I would be so grateful for that. And on that note, let's get into today's topic: how to turn your followers into paying clients. Do you feel like you're missing something? Your social media following is growing, you're really working on building your audience, but for some reason, your schedule isn't full and you can't really figure out why. How do we get people from that point of clicking the follow button to actually engaging with you when it's time to schedule appointments and making that move to book with you? The first step to this will be figuring out who your ideal client is. This is important because you can't expect to know how to speak to your clients if you don't even know who those clients are. Everything you do, everything you say, the things you're posting and showing the world should always be super intentional and with those clients in mind. But once you know who they are, what exactly do you do with this information? Well, you stalk them in the most harmless and genuine way. I mean, please don't actually be out there being a creep and stalking people. I'm talking about using the information that you have about who your ideal client would be, what they like, where they hang out, what they do, what their interests are, so that you can track them down online. My first tip is to meet them where they are, find them and engage with them. How are you going to do that? The absolute simplest way is to work with the most obvious place first: your posts. They are already following you, liking your posts, and commenting. So comment back. Listen, I'm guilty of this too. I get super busy and don't respond or just like their comment and move on. But the posts where I actually take the time to respond, I see a huge difference in how well that post does, the overall comments and likes I get afterwards. And I start to see the same names of people popping up over and over again. These are the people I'm looking for. They're the ones that are most likely to become your actual future paying clients. And this is the easiest way to create some organic engagement. You should be immediately engaging with people who are already commenting and liking your posts at the time you actually post. If you don't know what to say, let me break that down for you too. Responding to their comment with a question or something that makes them want to comment back is going to be your best case scenario. If you just say thanks and like a smiley face or something, that doesn't really leave an open end for them to add to the conversation or really make them want to comment back. So let me give you an example. So if someone comments on one of my dog portrait tattoos and says, "I love this, I want to get my dog's portrait done by you someday," I'm going to respond to this by telling them, "I'd love to do that for you," and then maybe ask them what their dog's name is or what breed it is. They obviously already want to talk about their pet, so I'm using this opportunity to tap into their desire to share about themselves and their life. and I'm going to ask this question and hope that they respond. And I'm going to keep this going as long as I possibly can. I kind of make a game out of it. It's like, how many times can I get people to respond to my comment again? And if I use their first name when I respond to them, it really makes them feel seen. If you do actually know them and recognize them, or they're one of your regulars, or you remember something about them, or you have an inside joke with them, this is also a really great time to use that information. Your current clients that you already have, people you've already tattooed, they are more likely to purchase from you in the future or book with you in the future than a complete stranger. So you really want to make sure you're tapping into existing clients as well, not just new clients. The more immediate engagement you can get, the more the apps are going to recognize your post as something that people want to see, and then they're going to boost your visibility. Another great tip is using your stories. Whenever someone responds to your story, write them back. If they're reaching out, just respond to them. It doesn't take long. I mean, unless you have like 1 million followers, then okay. Maybe that will be overwhelming, but I'm guessing if you're here listening to this, that's not you yet. So message them back, make them feel seen, show them that you're friendly and reachable and you're a real human person. This goes such a long way, but you have to be pleasant and be nice and use emojis, and do not ever just be short with them or rude with them. I kind of tend to go over the top with emojis and exclamation points because I know firsthand how people can misread the vibe of your messages over text. And please don't ever end your message with a period. I know this goes against everything the grammar police will say, but anytime someone uses a period when they're texting with me, I'm always like, why the fuck are they being such a dick? Why are they mad at me? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But something about using a period at the end of the sentence just comes off like a fucking dickhead to me. So I don't do it, but your choice. That's just my opinion. Another way you can create engagement with your followers is through polls. So I use polls in my stories and my posts. It gets people talking about themselves, and literally everyone loves to cast their own vote and voice their opinion. So let them. This is a great way to get some immediate engagement. You can do a this or that type of poll, or let them pick their favorite tattoo that you've done, which merch idea they're most interested in seeing from you next. Anything that gets them involved. The more satisfaction that they get out of being right, the more likely they'll be to vote in your poll. For example, before the holidays, I put a poll out and asked people if they wanted me to offer Christmas tattoos or pet portrait ornaments. I made it sound like life or death, like I wasn't going to be able to do both of them. I could only do one or the other. I didn't have time to do both. And then I just let them vote. Then I keep posting the updated results percentage throughout the day as they came in, with examples of whichever was in the lead. People were not only voting, but they were also messaging me and requesting that I do the ornaments anyway, regardless of the poll results. It was a super engaging event. It really boosted my visibility. It was also strategically placed right before my order link for the ornaments went live. And I already knew I was doing them, but I just wanted this little extra boost. Also, it shows everyone that votes. So now I have a list of prospective buyers when I do actually post a link. So when I did post the link, I was able to go back and send it directly to everyone who voted yes for pet ornaments, and let them know, like, hey, Rob, you voted for me to paint pet ornaments this year, and I just want to let you know that I am in fact making them this year, and I'd love to do one for you. If you'd like to get one, just follow this link to order. And then if I don't hear from them and I need some more orders, I can always reach back out to them and follow up, like, hey, like, I'm getting ready to close down the link. I just wanted to make sure you weren't missing out because I know that you said that you were interested in this. And it doesn't come across as super salesy. It's just like, hey man, like, I don't want you to miss out, and like, this isn't happening again until next year. So, just in case you missed the post or you missed my last message, let me reach out again. And then, that's it. I don't really do more than that. But this is a really great way to go that extra mile and create that extra engagement with them. Using questions in your stories, again, it gets people talking. This is a great way to pick their brains or find out what they want to know about, see, or hear from you. Give them a platform to say whatever's on their minds or ask you a personal question. This is another easy way to just get that immediate engagement. You ask them, what should I draw next? Or let them guess what you're working on. But be careful how broad your question is. If you give them too hard of a question that requires more than a second of thought or a really long answer, they will likely just keep moving. They think, that's too hard. I don't know. I'm not responding. So a simple yes or no question or a one-word question really does the trick. And Instagram specifically gives you the option to respond directly to them or to share their response. Do both of those things. Tag them in the post. Everyone loves a good shout out. Then you can strike up a conversation with them in their DMs about their answer. The more you engage with people, the more they are starting to like and trust and see that you are a real person. They start to feel like they know you, and the idea of booking with you becomes more and more reasonable in their mind. You're removing that intimidation factor. You're removing the obstacles. You're opening up to a possible future conversation on work that they may want from you in the future. An example of a question that worked really well for me was I found this old sketch that I started a long time ago and could not for the life of me figure out what the hell this was supposed to be. So I posted it and asked what they thought it could be because I couldn't figure it out. Okay, maybe I did figure it out after a few minutes of deep thought and fibbed a little bit, but I asked anyway because I thought it would be fun. But that was hands down the most engaged question I think I've ever had. Their responses were also hilarious, and it became a game to everyone because they wanted to be the one that was right. I even would doodle over the original to make it into whatever ridiculous thing they thought it was for just like a few of the really funny ideas. The drawing of what it was actually supposed to be then became one of my available designs, which I later sold pretty quickly. I also have some really specific ways of finding these ideal clients and creating immediate engagement with them. So I'm gaining a follower who is also an engaged audience all in one. I also have some really specific ways of finding these ideal clients and creating immediate engagement with them. So I'm gaining a follower who is also an engaged audience all in one. If you listened to my very first episode about finding your ideal client, you've already done the groundwork for this. If not, definitely go back and listen to that episode. And if you'd like some help working through these overwhelming steps of finding this ideal client and where to start, don't forget to grab my free worksheet. It will help you brainstorm and figure out exactly who these people are. If you just go to boundbyart.com/ideal client, you can download that for free. Once you've done this step, you can then begin client hunting. Don't worry, there will be no camo required and definitely no actual stalking involved. All I mean by this is you're going to meet them where they are, where they hang out online, and you're going to make the first move. A good place to start is hashtags. And I've heard so many people say, hashtags are dead, hashtags don't work, they don't matter. I strongly disagree. I ask all of my clients where they found me or where they heard of me, and I would say 90% tell me they found me through hashtags on Instagram or through Facebook, searching my hashtags. And maybe it's just specific to what I do, but I don't think hashtags are dead, and I do think there is a way to use them in a way that is going to help you find your ideal people. So even if you're not using them on your posts, they're super helpful for you searching for your clients. So you have to get into the mind of this client, where they hang out, what their interests are, what they like to do, and then you're going to figure out what hashtags they might be using or searching. For example, I do pet portraits primarily. My ideal clients have pets, duh. So they probably hang out in places for pets, like dog parks, pet expos, pet stores, etc. They probably like and follow accounts involving pets, merchandise for pets, training accounts, pet foods, pet supplies. They probably use hashtags like dog mom, cat lady, Frenchies of Instagram, or whatever breed of cat or dog they have. I'm going to come up with a really solid list of what these hashtags could be, and then I'm going on a deep dive. I'll spend 10 or 15 minutes a day just going through these hashtags, liking posts that I actually like. That's really important. I'm not just liking every single thing, because if I'm doing that, I'm not actively searching for my person. I'm just, throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. You have to be really intentional about it. So if you don't actually like the picture or there's not something interesting in it, don't fucking like it. Just move on. Find one that you do like. And I'm going to be commenting genuine comments on cute cat or dog photos. And then if anyone responds to my comment, I'm intentionally trying to keep them engaged by replying back with something that might then give them an opportunity to respond to me again. Like I said, like my whole response game, just like how long can I keep them talking to me? So I'm effectively introducing myself and opening up the lines of communication, and maybe they'll see tattoos in my username and decide to click on my profile and see who is this person that's commenting about my dog. And since I have strategically curated my profile pages to read like a website with my portfolio, my personality, my location, contact info, and answering most questions that they might have instantly looking at my page, I have hopefully won them over enough to at least follow me. And now I have my foot in the door and I can work on trying to just maintain this relationship I've created and let them get to know me and like me and trust me. For most people, it's a journey. You can't expect somebody to just stumble upon your page, see your work, and immediately book with you. It's not realistic, and that's not how it typically works. Is that how it works for you? Probably not. You want to get to know them a little first and make sure it's the right decision for you. These people are no different. Another way that I go out looking for my clients is with geotags. Knowing how far a client will travel to get work from you can be really useful with this part. Instagram gives you a breakdown of where your followers live. This is useful, but not super accurate as far as learning where your paying clients are traveling from. The program that I use for scheduling gives me a breakdown of all of that. So I have actual data about their locations, and I can get an average radius of where my clients are, which is about 2.5 hours or 150 miles. I don't want to say max because I definitely have people traveling from further away, but average is about 2.5 hours or 150 miles at most. So I can look at all of the towns and cities within that radius and make a list. Using the same method as the hashtags, I'm looking up these geotags, I'm liking and commenting on the posts that interest me or seem like my ideal clients. But here's my disclaimer. You have to be genuine. Don't fucking copy and paste comments. Don't write some random bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with the photo. If you don't have a real, actual human being thought in response to what is happening in their photo or what they're saying in their caption, please don't comment. Doing that will only make you look bad. You have to be real if you want to attract real people. You have to be honest if you want to be trusted. And you have to actually be interested in the photos, or you're not going to be attracting the right people. Another way to find these people would be Facebook. Facebook communities specifically. Okay, wait, hear me out and don't skip the rest of this episode. This is important and it works, I swear. Love it or hate it, Facebook is where it's at for really building relationships with people and gaining their trust and loyalty. I hate Facebook just as much as the next person. I find it to be incredibly drama-filled and whiny, but it's also the best place on the internet for having conversations and looking for recommendations. So far, I feel like TikTok is really coming up in this area as well, but I don't have enough data and research and information on it to swear by TikTok yet the way that I do with Facebook. But let's be honest, Facebook communities can be so incredibly exhausting, but if you can put your blinders on and not get involved with the bullshit drama, you can really insert yourself into the conversations that matter to you specifically. I see people almost daily asking in community groups, where should I go for my tattoo? Followed by a billion suggestions from random people. Rarely do you see other tattoo artists out there commenting, even after they're tagged by someone, likely a past client, which I think is so wild and such a wasted opportunity. Responding to those tags is so important. Get in there and say hi at the very least. Like, hi, I'd love to do that for you. Shoot me a message. Or better yet, message them. How many other artists do you think are doing that? You can send them photo examples of work you do that is similar to what they're looking for. If you're the shop owner or you're running the page for the shop, you can recommend one of the artists that has availability and share their work. And if no one in your shop is the right person or has availability, send them to your friends. Send them over to your friend's shop or someone in the area who would be a good fit for them. Be helpful, even if it means you aren't the one that's getting the appointment. People will remember that you helped them get to the right place. When they want a tattoo in the future that is your style and you do have the availability for, they will be back to see you. I promise you that. Make sure you take note of your clients that are shouting you out and thank them for recommending you. Most likely it's going to be the same clients over and over again talking about you. You'll start noticing these Facebook cheerleaders the more actively you participate. Make sure you publicly thank them for always cheering you on. Thank them by name and maybe even start a side conversation with them. If you remember them, ask them how their flower tattoo healed up. If they have ongoing work, let them know how excited you are to finish up their sleeve next month. If you don't remember them and have a minute, go look them up on your schedule and see if you can figure out what you did on them. This is kind of a 2-for-1. You're making your current clients feel good by remembering them, thanking them, and being friendly with them. And at the same time, you're showing these potential new clients that you are friendly and caring and attentive. These things don't go unnoticed. And as a matter of fact, other people in the chat are going to see those conversations and they're going to remember that as well. Even if they're not looking for a tattoo right now, they're going to remember, oh, this person's always in the community groups, like being helpful. Answer tattoo questions in these communities as well. Sometimes people will ask about healing or does this look infected or how long do I leave the bandage on? If you're answering these questions in a timely manner with really good information, always trying to help people and give good, honest feedback, you can start to create trust in the community as the go-to person for anything tattoo related. If you're really adventurous and not afraid to talk to people in person, you can bring all of these tips that I just gave you to the streets and actually get out there in places and make your presence known. This can be really intimidating to people, but it doesn't really have to be. In-person, face-to-face interactions will always beat out online interactions. Take every opportunity to talk to people whenever you're out in public. If you're an introvert and talking to people in public is your nightmare, guess what? You're in the wrong fucking business if you don't want to talk to people. I am introverted as fuck naturally, but I have had to train myself to pretend to be outgoing and social because my career, my business, my life depends on this. I personally think that the difference between an introvert and an extrovert is extroverts are like energized by being around people, and introverts, it's the complete opposite and it's just like completely draining. But if you want to be successful, you just have to move past it. You can't let this be an excuse and you can't let this be the thing that holds you back. I have a secret for how to get better at this though. The only way to improve your ability to talk to people in person in public is by talking to people in person in public. Yeah, sorry. That's it. There's no shortcut or magic here. You just have to do it. Just like anything else, you have to put the reps in. The more you do it, the better you get at it. You can just start small though. Just try challenging yourself to talk to one person new every time you stop at a store. If you stop at a gas station every day, try starting up a conversation with the cashier or another shopper, but not about the weather. Try to go deeper than the standard, like, how are you? Fine, how are you? Ask them about a pin that they're wearing or where'd you get that bracelet? Here's an actual secret tip though. When in doubt, give them a compliment. No one hates a compliment. I don't care what they say. They might feel awkward or uncomfortable in the moment because they don't yet know how to receive compliments, but I guarantee they smile when you say it and it brightens their day just a little bit. But don't be a fucking weirdo creep though. That will get you the exact opposite. Your best bet is to compliment something that they're wearing, their personality, how they handled a situation that you just witnessed, or their attitude, or their name, which is a fun way to also remember their name and become instant friends with them. But please, 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 do not ever tell someone to smile. Literally no one wants that, likes that, or wants to smile when hearing that. If you do frequently stop at the same place, try to mix it up. If you're just going to the same place, seeing the same people every day, sorry, but these reps do not count. It's a good way to form relationships with these people, so don't stop talking to them once you've started, but you have to pick a new person to talk to as well. So every once in a while, go to a different gas station, stop at a different grocery store, stop on the way home instead of on your way in, and practice, practice, practice. Once you're able to comfortably talk with strangers, you can start putting in real work, which is finding a way to drop into the conversation who you are and what you do. Most times for me, it's my own personal tattoos. If you're a tattoo artist, you should have tattoos. I will spare you my rant on this for now, but you have to have tattoos. If for no other reason than this, People ask me all the time about my tattoos or compliment them, mention them, or stare at them. Guys, I used to hide. I used to cover them up because, like I said, I'm a total introvert and I hated when people would talk to me about my tattoos in public. So picture this. Me at 21 years old, covered in tattoos, neck to ankle, living in Florida mid-August where it's the actual temperature of the surface of the sun, and I'm in pants and a hoodie zipped up to my chin, screaming on the inside if I thought anyone so much as caught a glimpse of my tattoos. Chanting in my head, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me. Like I said, I get it. I'm 1,000% an introvert too. It's tough out there, but somewhere along the way, I realized I'm missing so many huge opportunities to promote myself. I am, after all, a walking fucking billboard for tattoos. People will probably already assume that I am a tattoo artist or that I'm some kind of rock star or something. Not that I really see myself pulling that one off, but you get the idea. But I figured out a sort of formula for slipping my profession into a conversation. I have a ready go-to answer for every comment, question, or look. I'm ready with a witty, charming response so that I can control the conversation, which then leads to them asking me for a card, which I just so happen to have right here in my pocket. Okay, so after 20 years in the industry, I'm actually so bad at this and almost never have cards on me anymore. And I kick myself every time. Please don't be this person. This is another classic Missi Blue moment of do what I say and not what I do. Other ways to promote yourself if you're not feeling this adventurous and forward about it is wear your own t-shirt or your shop's t-shirt or put a giant sticker on your car window. Make a tote bag with your shop's info on it. Put your business cards up on the community boards at gas stations and grocery stores. Leave them on the counter. Leave them at restaurants and bars and gym locker rooms and anywhere you go. Leave a trail of breadcrumbs. Someone somewhere at some point is going to see one, pick it up, and go check you out online. Business cards are not expensive, guys. There are very cheap places to get them, and not having business cards, even though, you know, I know people are going to lose them. People find you on Instagram and online, but having a business card is still so important. I will die on this hill. And if you've done the work to curate your website or your social media properly, that's where you're really selling them on you and your work and converting them into followers. Once you have them as followers, then you can start slowly earning their trust by letting them get to know you and engaging and sharing with them. But it all starts with who your ideal client is. So don't forget to grab that worksheet at boundbyart.com/ideal client and go back and listen to episode 1 if you haven't yet, or if you just need a refresher, so you know exactly who this person is and you can get started on all of these tips of converting your followers into paying clients. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.